Hey, how y'all doing? This is Cooking with Dave. I'm Dave. I am the world's greatest chef. I know that I am because it says so right here on my apron. Today I'm frying some pork chops. I love pork chops. I like them fried especially. I like them on the grill. I like them barbecued. I like them baked. I like pork chops. How can you go wrong with pork chops? Anybody's like eating a pork chop will tell you that's pretty good. Let me bring you over here, show you how we spice up our pork chops for frying. Put a little flour on them, put them in the oil. Doesn't take that long. Okay, here I have me some pork chops. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spice them up on both sides. I'm going to put some onion powder on it. I'm going to put some garlic powder on my pork chops, just right on there. Then I'm going to put some Italian seasoning. Got to love Italian seasoning. That's pretty much the way I fry everything that I fry. If it's going to be meat and I fry it, I'm going to put some Italian seasoning on it, some onion powder, some garlic powder, a little salt, and a little pepper. Now, you know, pork is already, this is a pepper, pork's pretty salty all by itself. We don't need a whole lot of salt. I just put a little tiny bit of salt, just enough to bring the flavor out. We don't put a lot of salt on it. I do that on both sides. I already did the other side. Do it on both sides, and now we'll roll them in some flour and put them in our oil, and it'll be wonderful. Okay, here I am heating up my oil. It's not hot yet. You can see that. I put as much oil, about the same thickness as your pork chop. That's how much oil, not so they're covered, but just so it's right to the top of them when you put them in. They'll cover a little bit, but right there at it. And we'll put them in there and flip them over a couple times, and they'll be done. Remember, a couple drops of water when the oil's cold, and as it heats up, it'll crackle and pop. And as that water evaporates, it'll crackle and pop. When it stops crackling and popping, then I know it's hot and ready to go. So just about stop crackling and popping. You stop crackling and popping, and then we know we're ready to start frying. Because the oil is deceptive. See, what it does, it crackles and pops. And when it stops crackling and popping, it's quiet. If you're somewhere else, it means you forgot about it. You're like, hey, I don't hear nothing. Because usually, you know, when you're burning something, you hear something. But oil is deceiving because it's quiet when it's burning. Very, very quiet. Sitting there burning, starting to smoke up your house. Next thing you know, it's going to catch fire. You got to watch the oil. All right, see how it's starting to stop crackling and popping? Starting to be quiet. It's starting to say, hey, Dave, I'm burning. You see, it doesn't want to holler at you. It's not loud. It's quiet. I'm starting to burn. So when the oil starts to burn, so do we. So we take our pork chop, just roll it in some flour. After I spiced it up, we just lay it down in our oil just like that. And fry it up. Alright, I always keep my oil on high whenever I'm heating it up. And then after I start frying, I turn it back just one notch to medium high. And if I need to, I turn it back to high. But as long as my oil is frying and looking like it's bubbling up, then it is fine. And we'll cook these 4 or 5 minutes on each side. We'll find out how long it takes. Now, if you want to deep fry these, you can deep fry these the same way. Just drop them in your deep fry and fry them, and flip them around a couple times. And whenever they're floating, they're done. Golden brown and floating, they're done. Give them a little flip. Looking good. Cooking nicely. I love me a fried pork chop. It's gonna be good. Okay, I've been frying them for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna give them another flip. See what it looks like. I'm gonna cook this side a little bit. When they're golden brown, that means they're done. It's golden brown on both sides. They start floating a little bit. It means they're ready to come up. Remember, when you're in between batches of frying, you take out your first batch, put on the paper towel. Don't put your next batch in the pan right away. Because you just took the heat out of the pan with those pork chops. So pork chops? Pork chops looking good. But we just took the heat out of the pan. So turn your oil back up to high. Let it sit 30 seconds. It doesn't take long, 45 seconds. Just until it gets back to temperature before you put your next batch in. If you don't put your next batch in and the oil is not ready to fry, you want it up to temperature. You'd be amazed at how much that temperature drops when you take out that first batch. So let your oil come back up to temperature. And then put your next batch in. All right, there we have some lima beans and rice to go along with our fried pork chops. Then we have a pork chop, maybe 2 pork chops, and that there is a thing of beauty. Maybe a little cornbread on the side. It's the only thing that's lacking. Okay, today we made fried pork chops with some lima beans and rice. It's going to be wonderful. Go out there and cook yourself some pork chops. They're wonderful. Spice them up, roll them in flour, put them in some oil, turn them over a couple, 3 times, golden brown, float a little bit, take them up, they're juicy, they're wonderful. Can't go wrong with some fried pork chops. All right, y'all have a great day. Thanks.